report out of Brussels that NATO has unanimously agreed to defend Turkey in case that country is attacked. We do have Paul Beaver here, and we want to talk to him tonight about the amazing strikes on Iraq. Were they the success of those strikes, did they surprise you?
Yes, I think everybody must have been surprised by the fact that at least the first waves of strike aircraft from the US Air Force, the United Kingdom Royal Air Force, the Royal Saudis, and the Free Kuwaitis, all the aircraft seem to have got back without any casualties at all. And I think that's quite an incredible feat.
Well, why do you suppose this happened? I mean, to say Saddam Hussein's Air Force did have some fighters that could fly and fight at nighttime. That is a formidable army he has put together over the past 10 years. What happened?
Yes, it's interesting, isn't it? You would have thought that so close to the United Nations deadline that his air defences would be at their highest state of alert. It doesn't appear that that was the case, and we don't have any firm details of that. I think it perhaps shows that for some reason the command and control system wasn't functioning for whatever reason, and certainly there's no indication of any air defense fighters being launched by the Iraqis in trying to save or trying to defend Baghdad and other targets. It's not just Baghdad, of course. It's the targets. It includes missile sites in the west of Iraq, and of course we understand down in Kuwait as well.
Any sense of the expertise that you might have on the question of how reliable Saddam Hussein's officers in the command and control structure might have been, or whether it was United States strikes that took out the command and control structure? Any sense of that?
Yes, I think certainly from what Secretary Cheney has said, what General Powell has said, and also, of course, President Bush, if you put all of their statements together and the official statements that are coming out of the Pentagon, it does seem that the initial targets for the coalition, for air forces, were the command and control centers, the telecommunication centers, the air defense systems. And so I suppose really following standard doctrine these days, these are usually the targets that people go for. So it could well be that they were totally disorientated by the strike. I think it just is a remarkable feat. It shows just how professional modern air forces are or can be if they've got the proper training.
What was the expectation in terms of the losses that the United States and the Allied forces might have had in the air out there in the Gulf tonight?
I think certainly in terms of first strike, there were expected to be casualties. We don't know, of course, exactly what the situation is with further strikes. So we understand that for the first 4 hours there were continuous aerial bombardments and manned aircraft strikes. We don't know if all of those aircraft have returned safely. We just hope that they have.
Well, if Iraq decides to continue and not to pull out of Kuwait, what is the next phase in the air war?
Oh, I think we're going to see continued operations. Certainly from what President Bush has said this evening and what the Pentagon has been telling us, that this is not just a flash in the pan from their point of view. They are actually prepared to have continuous operations, and after all there are 1,200 or so strike aircraft and combat aircraft available to the coalition forces, so they could maintain around-the-clock aerial bombardment.
Tom?